Well, hey there. I just want to talk about presentations. Now, the reason why we give speeches, presentations, deliver reports in meetings, pitch ourselves or our products is to have an influence on our listeners. And just to know that we've got the power to do that, that should give us great confidence. It should make us excited about getting up to speak. But having confidence and having the expertise alone isn't necessarily going to impact your listeners. There are a few key elements to giving a speech that you should master if you really want to influence your listeners. And these elements should be a part of every single presentation that you deliver. Now, the first one is establish your credibility. No one's going to want to listen to you if they don't know why they should be listening to you. And you've got 60 seconds to establish the trust of your audience. You need to literally tell them why they should be listening. You need to pique their interest, use a story, a statistic, or a quote. Share your experience in the industry, but don't share your whole resume. Just give them the stuff that matters. You've got 60 seconds. Be honest. Now, this might sound really obvious, but when we lack confidence in ourselves, we're very often trying to boost ourselves up. Or even worse, you try to be as good as somebody else. This is only going to backfire. Your audience will see straight through you. So you need to be authentic. You need to be true to yourself. And the third thing is you need to connect with your audience. Now, this might seem normal when you get up to speak, that you're worried about how am I doing? How are people perceiving me? But if you want to be really influential, you need to take a different approach. From the moment you start to craft your speech, you've got to put yourself in the minds of your listeners. You've got to think like them, understand them. What do they want to hear? Not what do you think they want to hear? You need to speak in their language and you need to connect with them. And that means eye contact. So just like you would have a normal conversation with somebody, you want to have a conversation with every person in that audience. Now, the fourth element, the last element that I want to share is what action do you want your listeners to take from listening to you? So too many presenters are focused on their content and they're not focused on the people who are receiving it. And a really important part of any presentation is the action that you want your listeners to take as a result of listening to you. What do you want your audience to think, to feel, or to do as a result of listening? It's actually going to make your presentation easier because you're going to have a specific purpose and you can quantify then the success of your presentation by, do people take an action? So all of these four things, they've got a common theme, and that is a responsibility. You have a responsibility to your audience. You're there to change their thinking, to inspire them, to motivate them, to help them to move forward and to take an action.